Welcome to Tea Time with Dr. K, where we share stories that inspire transformation, celebrate victories, and dive deep into the journey of health and wellness. Grab your tea and let's build a better you, one conversation at a time. Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Cross, and we have a very, very special guest here today on our podcast, Tea Time with Dr. K. Oana, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And we're going to be hearing her story and her journey, how she became our patient, and what kind of procedure she has done in our practice. And on top of that, what does she do for a living? And also, if there's life lessons that she's learned over the years, we would like to hear, one or two or three things that you would like to share about life experiences and goals and things like that, so that our audience can hear about, our patient's journey as well and transformation.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Sounds like a plan.
So, Joana, how did you first find out about my practice, Millennium Smiles?
So, you popped up on Frisco Moms, which is the neighborhood and the school community that my kids are using a lot.
The Frisco Mom we're talking about the Facebook group, right?
The Facebook group.
Okay.
But then there, the main recommendation was it's a dentist like you will not find anywhere else.
Oh.
Again, me coming from abroad, I'm originally European, traveling the world. I said, I need that. I need someone
who is special.
And then I start to follow you on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think it was during pandemic
really?
Or immediately after pandemic.
Interesting enough, I just had to start on my Instagram and during pandemic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a very good Instagram, which was showing your personality, your patience, your parties,
post-pandemic. We look at like a lot.
Exactly. And I have major dentist anxiety. I used to travel to Europe to clean my teeth. My best friend and my cousin are doing that. So I go twice a year when I go for a business trip for work or for vacation. And then my friend was tired of me, and post-pandemic obviously was overdue because of traveling. So here we are. 4 years later. Almost 5.
I know. And she's still loving me, I guess.
Absolutely. More and more.
Oh, thank you so much. So, Oana, I think you came in. What kind of, experience have you had with my team and myself so far?
Wild in a good sense. Seriously. So again, for our patients with anxiety and also not from here.
Yeah.
And being used with a bit of extra pampering in Europe for patients with anxiety, I got everything that I needed here.
Yeah.
And a lot of fun on top of it.
Yeah.
I got friends. Everything that I needed.
Because we're not like a typical dental office, right?
No, and that was the recommendation which struck me.
Yeah.
It's not a typical dental office, and it was what I needed.
How do you say we're different than other dental practices you visited? Or maybe you have had good dental experiences in Europe, right?
I had a great dental experience in Europe, and let's be honest, because I had anxiety, she was my friend too, so I had that extra special treatment. So I think I was a bit spoiled.
Okay.
And then I went to other dental offices high by, and eventually they give you some gas if you have anxiety, and that was it. And
not the experience.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And you did nitrous in my office when you come in?
I don't need this. You are my happy gas. Seriously, I never get it.
That's true. She never got nitrous in my practice. Because I typically do not promote that unless the patient really needs it. And I usually tell them, hey, let me just go the first visit. Let me show you how it's done. And if you truly need it, I'm more than happy, because every single one of my room is nitrous plumbed. So I can use it. All my 13 operatories in this practice and my
They can use it
in the other one. Yes.
I never had it. And I have major anxiety, as you know.
Because I'm her anti-anxiety pill.
Absolutely. Very welcoming office. I love the design.
Yeah.
I love I don't know, when you enter in the reception, the way that you are, hey, love.
Greeted, yeah.
Welcome, man. How are you doing? Even the checking before, like, are you still on your way, darling? Yes, we love you. Come. So you're already like, whew.
Making you feel relaxed.
Yeah.
Does it smell like a dental office?
Never.
Yes.
Never.
Yeah.
Doesn't smell like a dental office. the way that you dress up is your top-notch signature.
And interesting enough, you mentioned about dental anxiety and the way I dressed, which is my signature and all. One of the patients, very first few months that I opened my practice, she came into my practice and she sat down and she was shaking, literally shaking on the chair. And I'm like, I walked in the room and I had a white coat on with my, outfit and all that stuff. And I remember her telling me, I hate the dentist. I don't want to be here, this and that. And I never took it anything personal. Whenever a patient says that to me, I'm like, they just had bad dental experiences and they have dental phobia. And so I do my very best to kind of like, facilitate that calmness and that, peace within them. One of the very questions I asked her, I said, if I could change one thing today and make you be less anxious, can you come up with one thing that I could do right now for you? She said, yes. Can you not wear the white coat? And I had no idea that there's this white coat syndrome that I was wearing, although I had a dress, but she had this white coat anxiety. And guys, I had 6 white coat that was like, embroidery, what is saying your name and all that stuff on it. And I threw every single one of them away. I never wore since December of 2016 another white coat again. So.
And here we are.
Several years later, because I listen to my patients. If I feel like there's something that I can improve on my end, I'm always willing to improve it. And, I am a yes type of woman, and I do not, say no a lot unless it's truly, it's going to harm me or my patient or my team. If it's going to improve anybody's life, it's always a yes.
And this is so true.
Yes.
This is so true.
She comes and she goes, if there's another doctor here, I just want to see Dr. Cross. I fully understand. Then I'm just going to see you.
And that was another thing, right? When you go to a big practice, where you have a lot of more juniors or an hygienist that is doing that, I have some top doctor doing that. If the anxiety it's resolved like that, I had that. Yeah. And we had so much fun together.
I know. And she always tells me, she goes, hey, listen, if you're cleaning my teeth or if you do anything, just talk to me the whole time. And so I have to be the entertainer for her as well. That is, I don't even charge extra for that.
Exactly. And seriously, you get free of charge the best gossips in the world or fashion advices or decorations or date tips or something.
Yeah. She dropped that in there. We're going to know it's okay. We can keep it in. That's why it's called tea time. You can be you and I can be me. It's not a problem. She's like, you can edit that. Leave that in there. It's no problem. So tell me about your dental procedure. You've had dental procedure in my practice. So
and that was it. That was really, so I came again. I was overdue. It was post-pandemic. So obviously I could not travel all the way to Europe to clean my teeth properly. Plus I was after, I don't know, a couple of years having my twins. And it was very long overdue. So I had a deep, how you call it? Deep cleaning. Deep cleaning. And that laser and everything.
Toothpaste and all that stuff.
All of the stuff. And then we had the whole check. And you notice that an old crown needs to be replaced. So I had one partial crown, one crown, and 2 fillings that you want to replace to look better.
Did you get sedated?
No.
Did you get nitrous?
No.
Did you have anxiety?
I think I lost it after the first 1 hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
I know.
I think you put something, that's another thing that you are going very gradual to see if it's really in my brain, the anxiety, or it's a real one that requires medication. Yeah. And with my anxiety up to here, I said, there's no way. Will you put me to sleep to do all of those? I don't think we did anything.
No, we didn't.
I think
you put a numbing gel for her.
A numbing gel, and even halfway, and I don't know, somewhere you didn't even put it, and here we are.
Yeah. And she got her procedure done, and I think you're right. Throughout the procedure, you got calmer and calmer and calmer because she began to trust me that, hey, because I told you, and I said, if you feel any pain or discomfort, you're the boss. You're going to raise your left hand, and I'm going to stop right away.
Absolutely.
Did that happen?
Happened only 1 minute. It was more in my head. You stop immediately. You raise your cheerful voice like, here I am, is nothing happening, if you really want that. And it was so...
Then you kind of trusted it, like, okay, she actually meant what she said.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then you got a partial crown, which is called an onlay. And I'm a very conservative dentist. So if I feel like a tooth can be saved, just doing a partial crown, which is an onlay, that's what I would do. If there's a previous crown done, like she's mentioned, an old crown that has open margin, like meaning that there's cavity or bacteria getting in there, or is leaking like mercury stuff, which is like a porcelain fused to metal, which has mercury toxicity, then that's the time when I replace it. And in her case, she had a partial crown, which was, I think, a cavity that needed to be replaced, but it was only a partial replacement of the tooth. And then the other one was a previous old crown that I needed to replace, of course, through smaller fillings. So tell me about the experience of the partial crown and the full crown. We're not like the other offices, right?
That was amazing. Everything happens here.
Yeah.
So I felt like I'm in a spa, seriously.
Yeah.
So you take the measurements, you clean it. Digital scan everything. You even...
They take a GUI impression?
Exactly.
No GUI impression, right?
Exactly.
No GUI impressions, no temporaries, just a digital scan of your teeth.
Exactly. Then I remember a beautiful lunch.
Yeah.
A very healthy one, and like a menu.
Yeah.
And then here it is, the crown. I just need to text my husband to tell him pick up the kids because I'm here longer. Everything will happen in that day.
Yeah. And what did you have for lunch?
I think you gave me so many options that I was a bit overwhelmed. I said, are you seriously? That's a spa/restaurant. What is happening here? You keep asking me if I want a pillow. I said, what? A pillow? And there's blankets? What else? And I think I had a salad, a Chick-fil-A salad.
A Chick-fil-A salad.
And a smoothie.
And a smoothie, yeah.
And I think because you wanted to make sure that I'm comfortable, something like a sugary drink or something.
Yeah.
That my sugar needs to go.
Protein shake and stuff.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So it was a very healthy, long lunch.
Yes, absolutely. Because you want to make sure, a lot of patients that go to the dental office, first of all, this has been my experience from day one. I brought in a same-day crown, CAD/CAM milling machine so that patients, like, believe it or not, she's a CFO, which we're going to talk about in just a second. They're busy. They don't have time to take multiple visits off from work to come here. Although she did take a very special moment out for me today, and she crunched her meeting to just be on my podcast. So I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
But, people are busy, and they want to, when they come to the dental office, they want to, come and get the procedure done, not have to come back multiple times or have tooth sensitivity afterwards. So we curated that experience from the very first practice that I opened in order to have the machine in the office, have the experience in the office, and at the same time serve our patients breakfast or lunch, depending on the time of the day that they're in my office. And that to me is like, yes, it's a VIP service and it's going above and beyond, but that is what we all are about. We want to be different than any other dental practice that you ever visit. And we do practice dentistry differently.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very different. And you are right pointing out that that's a big plus, even if you do not have the anxiety, because it is so true that I really don't have time.
Yeah.
And takes a very long time for any type of service, which is not actually impacting my health, to be solved in one day. And you talk about it, you make a plan, you can plan it, and you are done in one day.
Yeah, you're done in one day with the fillings, partial crown, 2 fillings, and then she just keeps up with her, pay her maintenance appointment every 3 months, right?
Absolutely, because I need it. And I was religiously having them. And I remember your staff helping me out, reminding me how important it is. I missed instead of 3 months to 4 months. Yeah. I felt sorry for it. I'm coming back on that. And you are so flexible. I remember my appointment being on Boxing Day, after the second day after Christmas. And I was, for me, are you really sure you want to come? Yes. And yep.
Yeah, we're scheduled. I mean, when we have a full day of schedule, we'd like our patient to come and get their procedures done and not fall behind under dental health cleaning. But that's really important.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So let's get back to, she's a busy CFO, and just tell me a little bit about how you became a CFO and your company. And I think I hit my mic. So how you became a CFO in your company, and how has your journey has shaped you to the woman that you are today, and what life experiences you have that you can share with us, in the journey to succeed like that.
Okay, so I'm a CFO in a telecommunication company. I'm originally East European,
Yeah.
and it's a big company, it's a corporation. And when I was young and wild, they selected me to be so-called an accelerator.
Oh.
So that means that they move you around the world. So I lived on 4 continents.
Wow.
In Europe, Asia, Latin America, and now US.
You guys can tell she has a lot of energy too, just like me.
That's
very true.
yes.
And I was
Not as high energy as you, but I'm halfway there.
No, you definitely are there. And not only that, before the podcast we started, I was like, if they put us both in one room, that room is going to explode of high energy. I'm talking about, yeah,
Absolutely.
high frequency. What I'm saying. I'll go on.
Okay, so that is how I become a CFO. I'm here for the last 9 years, and obviously I appreciate the openness. Someone who lived in so many places, you learn to read people for who they are and appreciate them for who they are, rather than just with what you are familiar to.
Yes.
And yes, it's one of my best experiences since I came here.
That's awesome. She kind of nailed that. You're true. We do accept patients from all walks of life, nationality, background, race. It doesn't matter, ethnicity, because we are like, imagine this. If you go to a garden, if you don't have different flowers, then it will never be that beautiful. It's the flower and different kinds that make it so gorgeous and unique, because if all of them was the same, it would be a boring place, right? And for us, we see people from all walks of life, and I would, my team and I, we try to understand each person's perspective and anxiety so that we can accommodate them. That's really, really the key, important, things that we practice in our office.
And it is a professional skill that matters a lot.
Yes.
Matters a lot in my profession, because I really learned that if you cannot adapt or you assume that that person knows everything, that creates anxiety in any profession. But when it's your health, it's double.
Yes, double anxiety.
Double
So
anxiety.
being flexible and be able to flow.
And the way that you explain end to end, right? Imagine you come from somewhere else. So in Europe, we call them different. The way that you talk about your dental treatment, the papers are different. Not the machines maybe, but the way that you are treated, you are familiar with the place, you live there. You talk end to end to the patients. You walk me through everything.
Yes.
Even now you know me for 5 years, and your personal is the same. Like they work you like it's your first time. Let me refresh your memory.
Yeah.
This is your insurance. This is what you'll do. This is what you will not do.
Yes.
Blood pressure, any medical things. Even if we see each other and we know each other so well, it's so professional and matters a lot.
Thank you so much for noticing. Thank you. Really. I mean, I appreciate it.
And especially for me, working with, I'm from an European company and it is present in multi-countries. I noticed immediately that
It is something different, right?
It's something different. Right?
Yes. Because, for us, doing dentistry that is different and is unique and especially paying attention to patient education portion of it.
Absolutely.
I'm very big on that. And I've traveled a lot, over 900 CE courses in several different areas of dentistry, cosmetic implants, sleep apnea, TMJ, patient education. I mean, you name it. And I like to stay up to date. And believe it or not, you were not here earlier. We did a podcast on stem cells. And so...
Oh, really?
You're going to be seeing some of that coming up. And, that's to help my patient. A lot of times, a lot of research has been done about it and studies. So that's something that I'm going to be discussing and potentially doing on myself first. So you'll see maybe a live video on it. And so, but yeah, the patient education is what I really focus on, because I feel like if a patient is educated, they're going to make an informed decision about their own health.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Education is the key. And that's why we're the big proponent of going from A to Z, so that you're fully informed of what is going on and how we're going to address it. And the big thing with me, you guys, if you don't see it on the x-ray or in the mouth, it doesn't exist. If I cannot show it to you, it does not exist. But if I can show it to you, then clearly you can see what's going on and you're going to be able to make a better decision that way.
Absolutely.
Right? Wasn't it the case for you?
It was absolutely the case. And it was also the fact that you are not only doing like an ambulance, you treat whatever was needed, but you do a lot of prevention. You are a perfectionist. I still think that...
You noticed?
In case you didn't notice, But seriously, not only from the place, from the way that you are treated, but also you get a lot of confidence that things are going to be top class, and you see it like an investment. You don't see it anymore like an expense. It's an investment on your future health, right?
Exactly, because oral and systemic health is very much interconnected. And we have gum disease, and we actually don't treat it. It can cause endocarditis, which is inflammation in the heart, and it also affects inflammation in the entire body. So that's really the key to importance. And also research I've shown has been, related to, birth loss, birth defects, things like that too. So anyhow, anything else you want to tell our audience that you would like to share and about, life experience? And
they really need to come to see you. They really need to come to see your wonderful personnel that is here.
Thank you.
I think it's such an experience, even if you try one, to see a visit and to check. And
just come and get the tour of the office, per se.
Oh, that was another thing.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like really a VIP. Like, you came, and for anxiety, that was, again, I don't know if it is your tips and tricks or you really do it anyway, but you just walk me through. So just to see, because I'm a woman, any girl likes fashion, and just to show around, just to show me the offices, and you start soft, like, a blue sofa and a fashionable. Absolutely. And then you softly introduce me. Look, if you really need a crown, here is the machine.
Yeah.
We fix it in one day. If you really need an implant, this is what we do.
Yes.
It's gradually introducing you, and even that tour, it's amazing. And I felt so nice, like a VIP and very welcome. Everybody's smiling. I don't know if everybody what they drink and eat before meeting us, but everybody's so smiling.
They get their high energy from this woman right here.
Absolutely.
But she sets the tone for the day.
Absolutely.
So it's true, because, if I come into the practice and I give that high vibration, frequency, love, affection, that is exactly how my team get energized too. And I would say 99.9% of the time I'm like that, because I just know how my energy will impact the entire team, and how my entire team energy can impact the patient's experience. And that is, to me, really the key.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like you are almost on stage when I'm entering here. I know that you are a dentist and you do that part so well, but it's really like an entire show end to end, and you feel so good.
So me and Kim were having lunch earlier, and Kim was like, "Hey, that red carpet thing," and I said, "You know what? You're right. We were thinking about actually putting it here with some rails on either side. So when actually patient come in, they go through the red carpet experience before they sit in the podcast." Oana was gonna say, "You should have put me through that experience."
Exactly.
I said that I'm missing out now. Maybe we should have a podcast just for her, so she can go through that experience.
Absolutely. And I saw it was another lady. I think you did the implants, and it was a one-day experience. And she was like a movie star, was a very senior lady, which was so happy. She went through probably a lot.
Yeah.
And after that, I saw cameras on her, flashlights. I said, oh my gosh, she's a star.
It's so funny to notice that. She had upper and lower All-on-X implants and stuff done. And she didn't tell me. Somebody in her family, I think her niece or somebody in the family is an oral maxillofacial surgeon. And she had gone to visit them, and they said that this case is very complex, that we cannot do it. She didn't tell me that. But I planned a case with Dr. Tadros, and his team in 365 Digital Dentistry. And it was extremely difficult case. I remember the morning of, he called me and he said, "I don't think you should do this case because it's extremely difficult. I've planned this case 18 times. But if you do it, I'm going to be able to do this so and so and so." Anyhow, I looked at my team. They had already seen me through surgeries, so many surgeries. They're like, "Dr. Cruz, let's go. We're doing this." And I said, "Okay, we're doing this." And I walk in the room. Patient literally takes out something from her pocket, and she goes, "The Virgin Mary. I prayed a lot." And that's the moment I could start crying, because I just needed that to know that I'm doing the right thing. Because to me, if a patient puts their trust in me, I want to make sure that I can do a good job. Believe it or not, that case went really well. A month and a half later, after her surgery, she tells me they couldn't do it, the oral maxillofacial surgeon. And I was like, "Oh, if you had told me that initially, I would have never picked up your case. I would have never done it." But I'm glad she didn't, because now She's, I think, a year and a half to 2 years into the surgery, and she's doing phenomenal.
Oh, you see?
That was the smiley cell.
Oh, that's also what happened, right?
I've always been doing a video testimonial on her.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you for noticing. She's following me on social media, and then she can become, notice that that's exactly what her journey was. She had gone through that experience, and I'm so glad I did. I think God was there to protect my hand and the way I was doing the surgery for the best interest of my patient. And
that was so good vibes around it, right? Because I was like just coming for a feeling and so on, and I could notice. And all the small things that we mentioned here, don't even imagine we do not notice. And it's even if you are like, say, maybe I like the decor and I'm into that, but I think it's the whole experience that makes people at peace. And I sent my husband, by the way, he needs to return. Yeah. And he was like, oh my gosh. And it's a man, so maybe he doesn't notice the
details.
No, and that was he's not noticed. I need to tell him if I come back from the hairdresser. Did you notice anything? And he was like, my gosh, this is a Star Trek, man. He was associated with Star Trek or whatever it is.
That's so
he was in all the gadgets, right? So you have a little bit for everybody. A man probably looks at the technology, and he's an IT guy in technology. I look into the fashion and the peacefulness. You have a little bit for everybody.
You're so sweet, Oana. I'm so glad you came on a podcast. I remember she was my patient. I said, Oana, I have a podcast. And she's like, I want to be in it. I was like, yeah.
But I'm a boring CFO. So I don't know if I can be good at the podcast.
Not boring. I don't know what she's talking about or what she's like. What are you drinking?
Coffee.
Okay, good. So I just want to make sure you're not drinking anything crazy because you're not boring. She's not boring, guys.
And that's my first podcast, right?
Yeah.
I usually do this to communicate financial results, right?
Yeah. By the way, guys, many of you guys may be wondering, we do not practice. The patient literally sits down and says, what do I talk about? Your experience,
I came from a board meeting, literally, and we didn't practice with it.
None of the podcasts are practice. We're just sitting and just go on. So,
but we trust each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because we know the energy and the flow is right. And we know what you've experienced. And you just talk about what you have known or get to know about my practice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Joana.
It was such a pleasure.
Oh my God, you're so much fun. Thank you.
You.
Let's do a little thing right there. Stay tuned, you guys. And again, I appreciate you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you.
Thank
you for having me.
Of course. And for such a wonderful, so many compliments, so many great things that you had to say about our practice. And I'm so glad that you put your trust in me to take care of you and change that experience so you don't have to fly to Europe, by the way. Get dental work done, and she stayed with me, and it's been over 4 years.
Absolutely.
Actually, but this is the 5th year.
That's the 5th year?
Yeah, this is the 5th year.
It is such a pleasure and fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're sweet. Thank you so much.
Very welcome.
And you had a haircut.
I did not.
But you look like you had a haircut. It looks or maybe you had your hair done. I don't know.
I had a blow dry.
You had a blow dry. It looks great.
Thank you.
So stay tuned, you guys.
Cheers.
For our next episode of Tea Time with Dr. K, where patient experience becomes #1 priority in our practice. VIP experience is what we do. And the red carpet is coming up soon, guys, for our next podcast. Oana is going to say, I missed out. Well, guess what? We may re-invite her again to do that walk show.
Absolutely. Here I am.
Let's go.
Bye.
Take care, guys. Bye.